Welcome to the Black View and
MELTalk. Thank you all for tuning in.
thank you. I'm so excited for this one. It's a mashup episode, joining forces, supporting one another. I really love
Period.
that. Honestly, Mel, you are one of the reasons I started my podcast because I saw yours and I thought it was super, super cool. And I love to talk. I was like, girl, I should do this too.
Wow, yes, thank
No, you
you.
are making an impact. So,
Thank you. Don't make me cry.
but how was your
No,
week?
thank you so much. My weekend, I got my first vaccine shots this weekend,
Oh,
and it was also my
okay.
mom's birthday, so that was nice.
That was nice.
Um, what'd you say?
You went home?
No, I'm at home. We're doing online school, so
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, we are too. But I'm still in Richmond, girl. I'm like, home is not for me right now.
look, I don't even blame you. Listen, if we wasn't going back to school next semester, I definitely still would be moving down to Hampton, getting my apartment. If I wasn't living on campus last semester, I mean, the semester that we came home, I probably would have stayed in Hampton too, because
Mhm. Yeah, I'm like, we're grown at this point. Like, moving back home is just not
it's
it.
not. It's really not, and it's been a struggle. It's really been a struggle.
No, I bet. I bet. But the thing, I mean, I guess everybody else, well, a lot of people are home too. So, if anything, I guess that's a little better. But where did you get your shot?
I got my shot at Kaiser Permanente in Haymarket, Virginia, because I have Kaiser for my health insurance. So they called me to get my shot. And I guess, I don't know like how they're doing it. I guess they shut down like the whole location for the day just so they could do vaccines. So
Oh, wow. Actually, fun fact, I'm a pharmacy tech and I was hired to like help give the COVID vaccine. So I'm like, yeah, so that was really interesting too. I think like being on the other side of it, like helping give it
yeah.
because I don't know, I was like, I was traveling to Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Hampton and stuff, doing clinics to give the vaccine. And it was just really interesting, I guess, to kind of see like how people were feeling about it and stuff. I still haven't gotten mine yet.
I was getting ready to ask that. Did you get your
Nah, not yet. But then again, it's not because I'm just not a big vacciner, if that makes sense. I don't get the flu vaccine or anything. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait it out, I'm gonna see how
yeah.
things go. But I understand why people would get it. And I think it is kind of a smart decision to get it, especially if you're like an essential worker or if you're interacting with a lot of people. But there have been adverse reactions though. Like I've seen them. Like I've seen allergic
Me
reactions
too, girl.
and stuff to the shots. Like people I mean, it doesn't hurt anything, but people are very dramatic and sensitive sometimes. And, a lot of people were acting a little just weirder than you really should for a shot. So I'm like,
Really?
what's going on? What's going on? Not like because of the reaction. I think it was just more so like the fear that they had about it. And I think it's just the fear around COVID in general that people have. But it's like we're scared of COVID, but and the vaccine. How are we scared more of the vaccine than the virus?
That is the real question. That's what I want to know because it's like what I always see is like the main people that I've been seeing all year doing God knows what out everywhere, doing everything, with no problem, are the main
Mm,
ones talking about, oh, nah, I don't want that. I'm not getting that vaccine. Nah, I'm not getting that vaccine. Like, come on now, guys. Let's
yeah.
let's be smarter than that. I completely understand why people would be, reluctant to get it, especially black people. I personally feel like white people don't have any reason to be scared of anything, but
For
um
no, for
but yeah, but black
real.
people I completely understand why they would be, kind of reluctant to getting it. But I also want us to make sure that we're scared of getting COVID too.
Yeah, no, that's very true. But I also think it's also because number one, of course, medical racism and the history with Black people and medical experimentation. But also,
Yes.
I think it's the way that they're going about the vaccine rollout too. I think the way that like we started it, we were releasing it to elderly people and like elderly homes. So they don't really have like that much autonomy. You know what I mean? Like they could say yes or no to the shot, but you're living there, and a lot of times, the people in the facility they have the power to like make the decisions for you and stuff like that, especially if it's, to keep everyone else safe. So I think that also raised questions too. People were like, why are you guys trying to like give it to elderly? But on the flip side, they are also the most vulnerable. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
a lot of things to think about. I can understand both sides.
A lot of things to think about.
I think we should
Yeah. I
definitely.
definitely. What'd you say?
I think we should wait it out. Just see how it goes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But when are you
Yeah,
getting
I don't blame people. My second one is gonna be on April 3rd. So
Oh,
fully
did you have
vaccinated out here.
any bad reactions?
No, so I have food allergies. I have allergies to like peanuts, like all nuts, shellfish and stuff. So like people with my food allergies were also having like bad reactions to allergic reactions to the vaccine. So I was kind of worried about that I would have an allergic reaction, but I didn't. But I had to wait instead of waiting 15 minutes after like at the doctor's office, I had to wait 30 minutes just to make sure that, I didn't die.
Mm-hmm. Good that they're taking precautions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how do you feel like your peers have handled, COVID? Like, how do they view it and stuff?
Girl. Look, I just, like we said in the beginning, I feel like people are not worried about COVID. And I think that is very selfish of people to not be worried about COVID because it's not just a you thing. I think that people are like oversimplifying the situation and kind of thinking of it as, okay, well, as long as I don't get sick, most of us, if we catch it, we're not going to get sick. Most of us in our age range, we're not going to get sick,
Right.
but we will still pass it on to someone else who may get sick and may even die. So, I think that, and it's not even nothing that's uncommon. I feel like the way that I've handled COVID has been not the norm, and the way that I see other people handling it wrong has been the norm. So it's not even like, it's something that's like uncommon. Like I said, I was trying to find another word, but something that's uncommon, like I said. But yeah, I definitely think that people have been very selfish during this time, and just just
Okay.
it's sickening, honestly. Like it's to even watch.
Mm-hmm. Do you know
Sorry
anybody
if that
affected
seems
by
dramatic.
COVID?
What'd you say?
Do you know anybody affected by COVID?
Yeah, I know a couple people that have died from COVID. A couple older people who have died through no fault of their own. Like I
Mm-hmm.
just said, like
Right.
somebody brought it to them, and it's actually it's just really tragic. Like that's one of the reasons why I've been so careful about it, because my parents are elderly as well. So I just been trying to make sure that they don't catch it, especially not from me. So yeah.
Oh, that's actually really responsible. I've heard that from a lot of people our age, for real, for real. I think it's just like, if I get it, I get it. I hope I don't kind of thing. And I'm like, I can see like why people are so and whatever. Because if you look at the numbers, like it's like Akbar and dying, but it's like if your family member is one of that numbers, like are you gonna look at it the same way, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna admit I'm not like the safest, but I do take precautions. I get 2 COVID tests a week because of my job, and I'm always wearing a mask and everything like that. I have like double mask actually. So yeah, so I'm always trying to stay safe. Always trying to make sure people are COVID tested at least. I'm like minimum. At least if you have
Yeah.
it or not.
Yeah,
But
and the thing, and it's like,
mhm.
yeah, I was just gonna say, it's like it's not like staying safe from COVID. A lot of times people think that when you say like, "Oh, stay safe," you mean like lock yourself in the house.
Mhm.
No, but be safe.
Right.
Don't be taking trips. Don't
Right?
be
Like, people are scared to take COVID test. And I'm like, the test just to know if you have it or not? Like, is it gonna
right.
kill you?
Like look at you. So you look. You're. What if you have it? You're out here spreading it to other people just because you're scared to take the test because you don't want to sit your stupid behind down.
Yeah, no, most dead. But I mean, I feel like everybody's itching to get outside. Summer of
Definitely.
21 is
Me as well.
smelling like the streets. Okay,
Smelling like the streets. The streets.
it's smelling like we're outside, and I'm so ready. I'm like, I don't care what I have to do. I'm like, if I have to get the vaccine, then that's just what's going to have to be because
Mm-hmm.
I need to be outside. Because the
Hey,
quarantine, it really, really affected us. And I think it really,
definitely.
like, I don't know, I just think it really, um, it forced us to be creative with the way that we handle things and with the way that we go about things. And, everybody was like, oh, you can't go online or you can't do this virtually. And we did. We figured it out. So I'm like, in times of need, it can happen. So if anything, I feel like
Yeah.
it kind of helped with creativity, I want to say, but that's also looking at it from someone who is fortunate enough to, have stable housing and, stable income and stuff like that during the pandemic. Because a lot of people didn't.
Yeah,
So yeah, the pandemic actually ruined a lot of lives as well.
it did. I think it definitely probably ruined more than it helped.
Yeah, most
Um, which is why, I understand that some people may have had positive experiences coming out of the pandemic. Like, I definitely have a positive experience coming out of the pandemic. I started my podcast, something that, I'm very passionate about. Um, I've definitely turned myself into a new person, but you would never catch me on anything saying, oh, the pandemic was a positive experience or the pandemic helped us or it was actually a
yeah,
blessing in disguise. I see a lot of
yeah,
people say blessing in disguise. Like, I feel like that's so insensitive.
it is insensitive, extremely, because it's like you have the privilege to say that,
Yes.
because some people
Yeah.
were evicted during a pandemic, know where to go, with like dependents. So it's just thinking about things like that, and just thinking about like the amount of people that died. You know what I mean? Like, of
Yeah.
course, it doesn't seem like big compared to like the general population, but people still died. In a bigger number than they should have.
Yeah.
So
And
I
it
really,
may not seem like a lot, like compared to how many people there actually are, but that's still a lot. Like,
it's still
imagine.
death people. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
No.
like one thing that I like always like to say is like my high school was like I think like 2,000 people, like 2,500 people, and then my college that I go to right now is like 8,000 people. So I'll be like I'll be thinking I'll be like dang, like imagine if I even put these whole two schools together and
Mhm.
everybody's just dead.
Yeah. No, for real.
Like
For real.
that's a lot of people.
No, that's what
And
it
that's
is.
not even like half of the total amount of people that have died just in
Right.
the United States.
Right. For something that, like, I don't want to say avoidable, but it definitely could have been handled better.
Definitely.
And speaking of that, you are a economics major and a political science minor. So, I feel like, you're a little bit interested now, at least in politics. So how do you feel like it was dealt with by our government officials, how COVID was dealt with? Your
Yeah.
personal opinion.
Yeah. So I'm actually a communications major, but
Communication.
um,
Girl, I'm
yeah,
so sorry.
it's okay.
Verbiage.
Yeah, it's okay, but I definitely think that COVID was handled terribly. Like, I think that like there's a general consensus among people with sense that COVID was really handled terribly. It definitely should have been handled way better. The amount of people that died did not have to die. There are so many people that did not have to die, but it was all out of greed, money, being hungry for money, and kind of like not being willing to give people a break because you're scared that if you give them this little break, then they're going to take advantage of it and not, work from now on or want to change things,
Like, that's so
And yeah, I think that like I think listen. So let me just say this. So like what I would constantly see over the summer during like Black Lives Matter and stuff when everybody was outside like protesting and stuff, people were saying stuff like, "Oh, why do you think that all of this stuff is happening right now?" It's because most people are at home. They don't
mm,
have nothing to do. They're not at work. So
right.
they have time to go out and fight for change, fight for social change and political
Mhm.
change. And so I feel like the government and Republicans in specifics, like they saw that and they were like, they fighting for racial change and racial justice. It's only going to be a certain amount of time before they're fighting for change in the workplace or economic change or, just more help, more breaks, a more livable society. And, can't have that.
That sounds so sick. Like,
Yeah.
so sick. But it's so crazy because we saw that, like, even with the Wall Street thing. Like, we saw that in action. They literally did not care. They were like, you guys are not making money off of our thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like, it's crazy to think. It's crazy to think it, but it's not something. I'm sorry. It's crazy to think, but it's not something that's impossible to think about. You know what I mean? Like, it's something very plausible that I could think. Our government's really focused on, like, we're numbers to them. So it really doesn't matter to them, who's dying and who's not, as long as the workforce is still there.
Right.
So sick.
And especially like I remember like I don't know if this was like a couple weeks ago, Mitch McConnell he just literally he said it. Like he didn't even try to cover up. He said it. He said that if he's scared that if we get $1,400 checks, then he's scared that people won't go back to work.
Right.
So
Which I'm
it's like
like, they're so disconnected from reality because $1,400,
not no money.
$1,400,
Not no money out.
that's a good like month and a half of rent. That's it.
Barely. In most places that's probably not even rent. Like
Exactly. So I'm like, what world are you living in? Like, what bubble are you living in to say
so
like we're not gonna go back to work because of $1,400? And I'm like, and the thing is, we have to pull teeth to get that. Like, at first we wanted like 2,000, and we are
and
getting
we should have been getting 2,000. Honestly, if y'all want to really talk about the stimulus checks, we could talk about it because y'all really owe us like $20,000.
no,
We should have been getting like 2,000 a month. That's what we should have
exactly.
been getting.
That's so crazy to me. Like, they really just left most people out to do whatever.
Left
And
us
the
with
thing is, the jobs, the people that like are the workforce, they can't really do their jobs online. You know what I mean? So it's like they were just like fend for yourself. But how?
Exactly. And it's really sad. It's really sad.
Oh,
And it doesn't have to be this way, but I feel like, we had a lot of momentum going during this last summer in Black Lives Matter. Because so many people were at home, that's why they were so pressed to get people back to work and open
right.
up schools and open so parents can go back to work and open up everything so that people can go to work so they don't have time to focus on we need to change this,
Mm-hmm.
which we do.
Yeah, most dead. And now, like, I think with our generation, especially, we're seeing how, like, work is being used as a weapon. And I love how we're, like, stepping away from that. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, yeah, work, but we're going to do our own thing. Like, we're going to have our free time, stuff like that. And other generations have just been so focused on, like, working, making money, trying to survive. And it's like, that's no way to live. And we're breaking up stereotypes because you're not going to see me in no job my whole life. No.
Period. Because, and I remember I was talking to my mother the other day because my sister, like after she gets vaccinated this summer, she's going she's going on vacation to Vegas, and my mom was like, "Oh my gosh, I want to go to Vegas so bad. I've never been there." Mind you, she's 60. She just turned 64. My mother, and so I'm like, "What? You've never been to Vegas?"
Right?
Like, I mean, I've never been to Vegas, but I'm a kid, so like,
You have time.
yeah, I have time. I'm like, in your whole life, you've never been to Vegas? Like, Vegas is right there. Like,
Right.
why would you not go? And she like, girl, when I was young, I didn't have no money. I had to work. Da 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 da. I'm like, wow. It's
Yeah.
just like so. The generations is just different because even if I don't have no money, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna take that trip because
No, seriously.
you never get
I'm
the
like,
time back.
for my mental health.
Mental health.
Exactly. Where I'm like, I'm not going to kill myself for a job that can replace me tomorrow.
Never that.
And I just feel like also with us, we're creating multiple streams of income too. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
Like, I didn't start my podcast for money, but I'm like, if I can make money off of that, then I would love to do that. You know what I mean? Making money off what I love to do. So it's just like finding other ways, that benefit you to make money. And I'm so, so grateful that we have, social media and the internet and stuff like that to even provide something like that.
Definitely.
Because, so you're a communications major. So, like, what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with that?
Girl, so honestly, I've been through like 10 different like career paths, like career choices.
Mm-hmm.
So at first, what I wanted to do was like PR. I wanted to go into PR for musicians, actors, artists, stuff like that. But now that I've started my podcast, I really, really, really just want to do my podcast. Like,
Right.
I want to like do my podcast, maybe turn it into some like a radio hosting, like TV hosting type of career, like broadcast type of career. I never thought that I would want to be like a broadcaster, like in front of the camera
Mhm.
type person, but like I like this, you
No, I
know?
know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I know most that. I always tell myself that too. Like that's why I was like trying to avoid like making a YouTube channel and stuff like that. But no, I really think that podcasting is in a lane of its own, for
It
real.
is.
And I feel like its audience is growing, and it really connects to people because I feel like it's more personal than like a
It is.
YouTube video. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a YouTube video is more of a performance, or videos just in general are more of a performance, whereas conversations, it's
We
like
always have a conversation anyway. Everybody is.
exactly, exactly. Just something to stimulate your mind. And I really appreciate that. And I think it's awesome. We're Black women and we're doing this. I
Period.
love that. And
Listen,
it's crazy.
you
Mm-hmm.
always need more Black women everywhere.
Yeah,
It's never enough Black women.
ever,
Period.
ever. We change the standard wherever we go. Always. Oh.
Period. Because we are the standard
I know.
and always will be.
We are the blueprints.
Period.
But like, it's so crazy because people like, they ask me about this podcast and they automatically assume like I'm a journalism major or something like that. I'm actually studying like clinical lab sciences. Like I want to be a pharmacist, but I'm just like, yeah, like this is something cool too. Like I didn't think that I would stick with it as much as I did. So I think that was also something pretty interesting for me too. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like this is just kind of helping us develop our voice and developing communication skills, if anything.
Definitely, because it's definitely been like working on and testing my communication skills.
Mm-hmm.
Like I be thinking now that I'm doing like my podcast, I be thinking like, oh dang, I gotta like enhance my vocabulary. I gotta like learn some new words and stuff like that. Because sometimes I be like thinking like looking for a word, and I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know what word to use, and that happens to me way too many times. So
What
yeah, I
is your
definitely.
biggest challenge with podcasting?
My biggest challenge, I feel like, I don't know, I've been struggling with trying to like figure out, like, I've been struggling to like grapple all the parts of my personality and then put it into the podcast
Right.
because I'm like a very multifaceted person. Like, I can talk about a lot of different stuff and know what I'm talking about. Like,
Right.
I can talk about politics, I can talk about city girls, I can talk about shoes, I can talk about fashion, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? And I'll know what I'm talking about. And but a lot of times when you on TikTok, when they ask you like when they're telling you tips how to blow up on TikTok, they're telling you find your niche, like find the one thing that you want your account to be about. But
Mhm.
it's like I'm not a one thing type of person.
Right. You want it to be a lot of things. It can be everything.
Yes.
You
Yes.
want it to be
So
like geared towards you instead of you trying to gear it towards people.
yes, exactly. So that's kind of been what I've been struggling with. Like I want to like find a way, but I feel like, once I gain like a solidified, audience or respected presence, with like within the podcast world, like I feel like once you gain that, it won't go away because once people get to know you and they like you, they're gonna listen and tune into what you have to say.
Oh yeah.
So no matter what it's on. So
Yeah, no, most definitely.
yeah. What has been a challenge for you?
I think my biggest thing is just connecting with people because, like, I love people. I love meeting new people, talking to new people. But I feel like sometimes if it could be hard for me to find a common ground, and sometimes it could be hard for me to like communicate with them and try to like pull things out of them because if like I know I can talk, but not everybody else is like that. And
Yeah,
sometimes I want to hear the other person, and I don't want to be overbearing. So definitely just like learning how to communicate with everyone, trying to be like more inclusive, just trying to think of more things that I can connect with people on. Trying to find everybody's special thing. Everybody has something that they love to talk about. So I think that's
definitely.
been my biggest thing, and just really trying to define what I want my podcast to be. I feel like I just been trying stuff out, but I know I've kind of just wanted to center it on not just the Black traumas, but that's why I called it the Black View. Because we live, this is where we live. This is everything we're seeing is through this lens, And I feel like we should be able to express ourselves and the things that we see from our perspective, from different Black people. Everybody, because there's so many of us, and it's so many different kinds, and so many different varieties. So I want to
Yeah.
express the joys and the traumas. I want to express the things that make us happy, the things that we're interested in, and the things that are against us because they exist. So yeah.
Definitely. I think that's really dope.
I
Yeah,
really
because I
love
think a lot of times, yeah, I think a lot of times people like really think that like Black is supposed to be like this like monolithic experience where it's just one type of way, one type of Black person, one type of Black woman, one type of Black man,
that.
one type of way to be Black, and it's definitely not that.
Right.
We are, we are a very, what's the word? See, this is what I'm talking about. What's the word? A multifaceted group of people, like
Mhm.
we have very, different interests, different ways that we process things, just like every other race of people.
Mhm.
And yeah, period.
Yeah.
Period.
But okay, because you're light skinned, right? Do you ever get like the question if you're mixed? And so
Oh,
like, are you mixed?
no.
Okay.
I probably got some. I probably have some like down the line. I probably got some like different stuff in me. I don't know. I've never done like a DNA test, but
Mhm.
like my mother is Black and my dad is Black. So, but my mom is really light skinned, so she may be mixed with some. I don't know, but she's like very light skinned. So
Mhm. But that's good though, like that you're like, claiming the Black experience. Because there's a lot of light skins that are like, I'm light skinned.
oh
And
no,
it's your problems are our problems too.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And sometimes I was just talking to on my other episode about like intersectionality of like racism and homophobia, misogyny and stuff like that. The guest that I had on, she was talking about how she grew up in DC and she was like, yeah, I never experienced any racism or anything like that. But that may be because of the fact that I'm light skinned and I have curly hair. And
Right.
so I'm like, yeah, like, I face racism. I'm visibly Black, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But the type of racism that I face is definitely going to be different from the type of racism that that Lupita is going to face. You
Right.
know what I mean? Or even you, because
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Nah, definitely, definitely. And it's crazy because like it's little things, like it's microaggressions, you know what I mean? Like people are saying like they want their kids to have good hair and stuff like that. But it's like if you're my color, you're saying you want your kids to have good hair, like what is that showing other people? What is that showing your kids? You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like you're putting yourself down for what?
Yep. That's that internalized white supremacy.
I know.
You gotta get it. You gotta let it go.
I can't. I cannot. And I don't know. I just, especially with guys too. I feel like that's a problem. Maybe just when we're younger, really. I don't know about the older generation, but I definitely see like how guys are like, oh, if she's lighter or whatever, I'm like, I want to make it official with her. Whereas like somebody darker, maybe not. But
Yeah.
then again, like that's just like my personal experience. And I just always thought that was so interesting because I'm like, what?
No, I think that's definitely valid. Like Black men definitely do have a problem with colorism and internalized white supremacy on a
Like,
large scale.
but it's crazy.
Um,
It's like your mother looks like me.
your mother,
Your
your
mom,
mother, your sister, your auntie, your
no,
grandmother,
for real,
everybody.
looks like me.
Yeah. And I think that like now we're just coming into a place like I like the way that society is moving because I feel like a lot of things that used to be normalized are not being normalized anymore. But I feel like it's just happening. Like
Right.
it's just starting. Like now you see a lot of, Black men that's don't say that type of stuff anymore because people be
Yeah.
eating them
No, they know.
up. Yeah, because people be eating them up. And so I think that's really good. I think that a lot of the stuff that our generation, we're denormalizing a lot of stuff that needs to be denormalized because it's
Yeah.
not okay for you to say, "Oh, I want my kid to have good hair." Oh, I want a light skinned girl, or da da da, da, so
Right.
on and so on.
But I also feel like it's also because of the representation. and like media too. I also think that's had a super big impact just because like women rappers, like City Girls, Megan Thee Stallion, Enchanting, just like women rappers who are coming out who are darker. I really feel like, they're kind of putting on for us. I'm like, okay. First of all, I love Megan Thee Stallion. I'm a ride or die fan.
Period.
But
Love Megan.
right? Oh, women empowerment. Like, I just love that. And people
I love
love
her
her
so much.
so much. And I'm like, why? She does not bother nobody.
She
Like,
really don't. She really
all
don't.
love.
She's like one of the most unproblematic people,
I
but
know.
people just hate on her.
I know. What? I don't know. I just hate when men attack her. Cause it's like, but guys sing about literally the same exact stuff that she sings about. And it's not
Same.
a problem.
Exactly. And it's not. And all it is misogyny. If you see, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, let's talk about this. Nobody's coming for Meg in terms of rapping. Like
No, they're not.
she's top tier.
Yeah.
Male or female, she's top tier. You're not coming for her talent.
Mhm.
So when you see men like coming at her or attacking her, it's misogyny. It's a
Yeah.
hate for women in general or a hate for black women because you're not comfortable seeing a woman do what you do, but as it pertains to her, you know what I'm saying? Like you can rap about having. Can I cuss? Do you mind if I cuss?
Yeah. Are you good?
Okay. Like you can rap about like fucking all these bitches, you know what I'm saying, selling drugs, like toting guns and all that. But when we rap about doing the same thing,
Yeah.
fucking niggas and all of that,
Like,
you don't like that. You don't like that. But we had to deal with that this whole time. We had to hear male rappers saying all this stuff, sexualizing us, treating us like literal objects in
mhm.
your lyrics, but now the same thing's happening to you and you don't like it. That's what
Right.
it is.
Right.
So yeah.
And it really bothers me because like they even took the WAP video, like the explicit one, off YouTube, but Third Baby's on there, and I'm like, what? Like it's so
I did
clear,
not know that.
the misogyny is there, and it's like, why? Like if you literally take a second just to like stop and ask somebody why, like why are you mad that a woman is expressing her sexuality and herself? Is it?
They'll never be able to answer. They'll never
Yeah,
be
they
able to,
can't answer because
yeah.
there's no logical answer to that.
Yeah. And then once you call something what it is, don't call me that. Don't say that. Da, 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 you're dragging it. No, I'm calling something what it is because people don't understand how even the little things that you do can be misogyny, can be homophobia, can be white supremacy.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm big for calling things what they are.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
But I've also seen a post though, and it was like, men like they use like their status and their money and stuff like that to like attract women, but then they don't want women to just see them for that. And it's like, well, when women start rapping about it and we're like, okay, we want a man to take care of us, we want money, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're gold diggers. And it's like they just want us on their terms. And it's like, it don't work like that. It's 2021. Like we outside, okay? Like we have and I think now it's really just because women we're establishing more autonomy. You know what I mean? Like the girls that I know, like we're doing our own thing. We have jobs, cars, everything. Like right now, I'm fine without a man. Like I can do me. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times it's just like the whole, oh well, she just acts like she doesn't need me, and it's like, well, that's just because you're insecure within yourself. That's you.
Maybe because I don't need you.
Right?
Yeah, maybe because I don't need you.
Okay.
I want you though. I may want you, but I don't need you. That's
Exactly.
why I'm saying.
If I want you, I'm gonna show you that, but it's never off need. Never.
It's never need. Needs and wants. We learned that in first grade.
Yes.
Needs and wants.
Exactly. Especially I feel like now because we're getting older and like we're really trying to go into our careers and stuff like that. Just establish ourselves as a young adult, And I mean, of course, some people like married or they're in serious relationships, and I'm like, that's beautiful. I'm like, go you. But at the same time, I feel like we're also at an age where it's like, do your own thing, explore yourself, have a good time with yourself. So I'm just like that in general. That is a whole other topic.
Yeah, it can wait. It can really wait.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much to deal with, and nobody has time for that. I got other stuff going on.
No, like this podcast.
Exactly, and it's a lot of work too.
Oh my gosh. But because you want to go into broadcasting now, what do you feel of like the representation, of Black women in that career?
um, I definitely, like I said before, I definitely think that there's never enough Black women. You can never have too many Black women.
Right.
But of course, I feel like as in any industry, it can use some work. I definitely feel like racial bias, is and even gender bias and inherent bias, like not outward, like purposely, being not hiring someone because they are a Black woman, but just the bias that we have been taught, that we all
Mhm.
have within us, that we have been taught, definitely plays a role. And you know, I think that there's a lot of Black women in the industry, though, that have in the broadcasting industry that have paved the way for women like myself that want to come up right now. But I definitely always think that there's work that can be done. There's more Black women there that can be placed in many positions, and yeah, and even Black men too. So
Yeah. I feel like we do have good examples and bad examples, but I feel like they're all like good examples in a way. You know what I mean? Like there's people like Wendy Williams, People can say
yeah,
what they want about her, but Wendy Williams, she started from nothing and she has her own show now.
so
And I know
did you
she's
watch her movie?
no, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, you should watch it.
Is it
It's actually good.
really?
Yeah,
How,
it's a Lifetime movie though, but it was interesting to me.
yeah.
But it made me have like a new respect for her because like you said, like she really like got herself to where she's
Yes.
at,
Her,
and
Oprah.
then yeah, and during a time when we were not accepted. Like, of course, like the 1980s and 90s, it wasn't like Jim Crow or nothing, but a lot of racism and microaggressions were still very normalized during that time.
Right.
So, it's definitely was not easy, and it was not as easy as it would be now for her to do what she did and make it to the place that she's at. So,
Yeah. No, I know.
mhm.
I commend like women like Oprah, Iyanla Van Zandt, all
Yeah,
these women who were like they're on TV now. They're older now, but they've been doing this for years.
years.
Trying to get
Yeah,
people to listen to them, trying to get people to pick them up. And I'm just so glad that they're getting their flowers now.
yeah.
So I'm like, if anything, I hope we can carry that, expand it.
Yes, expanded definitely. That's the main thing that we have to focus on doing. And I also think like I don't know, I can't let me think of some Black men. I think of Don Lemon.
Arsenio Hall.
Oh, Arsenio
He
Hall,
definitely had
yeah.
a talk show. I think that was kind of famous. I think Sinbad had one too. I can't remember though.
Oh, I don't know who that is. But
I'm like, it's not as
yeah, like
common though for Black men to like have sit downs. If anything, I would really like put that more with sports. That's kind
yeah.
of comes to my mind.
Yeah, definitely. But I definitely think that like there should be more of an avenue for Black men to do like other types of broadcasting
Yeah.
because like I said, like when I think of like politics or like hard news broadcasting, the only like can you think of somebody? The only person I can think of is Don Lemon. I
Yeah.
can't think of him
That's it. Right.
like on a national level.
Yeah. I don't. There's like I said, like Black men that come to mind is like Stephen Smith. Like that's
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
don't know.
So yeah. We all gotta like carry this like pass the torch
Mm-hmm.
from their generation and just expand it. Just do the work and expand it.
Yeah. No, most dead. I feel like if anything, um, men should create a safe space for men. And I feel like with that, like Black men could have such a great career in this because they can relate to other Black men. As much as like we want to talk and explain Black men, only Black men can tell their experience. And I feel like we're missing that really, really big in the
Yeah.
industry, like in media in general, just the Black man experience. Because there's always people telling us or people writing about the Black man experience and they're not a Black man. So that's really disheartening. But it's like,
Yeah.
y'all doing it yourselves. So what's going on?
Yeah, like, make your pave your way. Like The same way that Oprah did, the same way that
Right?
Wendy Williams did. Pave your way.
But if anything, I hope we are inspiring. We are inspiring a man to start a podcast. Like talk
I
about your
hope so.
experience.
I hope so. I hope so. I think so. I mean, I don't know. I don't be thinking that my podcast be having like that much like impacts,
No, but
but every time,
you always should. Like even when people like tell me like just now, you know what I mean? I have like a couple people listening and they're like, no, I love it. And that just like gives me so much fuel. And it's just like you should because you know, if you're putting this out, somebody's listening to it. Somebody's tuning in. You're affecting somebody's life differently. And you affected my life. So anything, just know that.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. So do you plan on getting the vaccine like when it's available for you?
No, so it's been available because I was giving it. So I'm
Oh, so you just didn't get it yet?
like my whole pharmacy, everybody I work with in the pharmacy has gotten it. I just haven't gotten it yet because I'm just like apprehensive. But if anything, it's more so like a mental thing. I don't want to say like anything behind the science because I don't like to be like, oh, like it's not safe. You know what I mean? I didn't develop it, so I can't say that. Um,
Yeah.
I have allergies too, though, so I'm also kind of like, yeah. But I'm just kind of holding off on it. I think I'm holding off more until um, we do it on more people, I guess, just because we've only done it on such a small population now. Um, or, you know, just wait for nature. But no, I do. I probably will get it within the next coming months because I do plan on taking a trip for my birthday. So I probably will
Okay.
take it. Yeah, probably. And my birthday's in May, so I probably will get it before then. Just because
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Florida,
That's
and
good.
Florida they literally do not care about COVID.
They
So
don't. They
yeah,
never did.
they don't.
Yeah, they never did. Like never
Florida
did. So
and
I
Georgia
definitely think
don't
that
understand at all.
Florida it's the Republicans. Like it's really the Republicans. Like
But I
I'm
also think
sorry, like but
tourism, people would know like their tourism is like one of their bigger markets, and they have to stay open to attract tourists. And it's like that's
yes,
what you're thinking about right
capitalism.
now. That's what you're thinking about.
Huh?
It's like that's what you're
Yeah,
thinking about.
exactly. Exactly, exactly. Like that's what I was saying at the beginning, just money hungry. Like y'all can take a little profit loss right now. It's
Right.
bigger things going on.
Right.
It's
Mm.
bigger things happening. So
Just,
yeah,
I just
but
really
I
wish
definitely think
we were all a little bit more considerate.
me too. Me too. It's not about like I said before, staying like locking yourself in the house, but be considerate. Don't be doing something that you ain't got no business doing during a pandemic. And y'all know what y'all ain't got no business doing during the pandemic. Like people
Celebrities
trying.
hosting whole parties still. You saw what's her name, Asian doll, which she's already upsetting me because she said that she's like she has 4 tattoos of on, and she's getting like one or two more. I'm like, all right, girl, like that's obsession at this point.
No,
I'm like,
because
I'm telling you how to,
bro,
but you're doing too much.
I don't know. I heard that when he died, they wasn't even together. Is that
No,
true?
they weren't. And when they were together, he wasn't posting her or anything. Like you don't see her like crazy on his page. So I'm like, girl, you're doing a lot, a lot.
She gonna live behind this man's name until the day she died.
No, seriously, she dropped that
Because
song
like
that
what?
sounds like everything. Like that's obsession,
It is. It really is. Because if you wasn't even together with him, honestly, I'm sorry. If I wasn't even together with that man, I probably wouldn't even have posted about
for
him. I
real.
might like, oh, rest in peace. I might tell his family rest in peace, but what do I look like? I'm not definitely not gonna be posted. I feel like celebrities do not know how to just be normal.
They really don't, and it's like nobody asked you to do all that. But it's also because they know that they have to perform in front of us because they're gonna lose our attention. Our attention span is so quick now. So
Yeah, and and honestly though, I think that it's not I don't feel like every celebrity does that because I feel like if a celebrity knows that they have the talent and the content to keep our attention, like the music, the videos, the merch, whatever to keep our attention, then I feel like they won't do all that. Like Roddy Rich, he don't be on here doing too much.
for real. For
he don't be on here doing too much at all because I feel like he knows that, he's not, he knows that his music is what's gonna keep our attention. But
exactly
Asian Doll, Ari, who else?
all of them
Even
are.
Meg. What was we just saying? Meg. She don't bother. She don't do too much. She don't bother nobody.
We're on thing. Are
Yeah.
like Jada, Wade, and them. But then again, we're also describing people who are like, it's like, why are you a celebrity again? What do you do exactly? Like, you're a baby mother. That's your title. That's your job. I don't understand.
Especially Ari. Like Jada, I don't really have no problem with Jada because I like Jada. I feel like Jada, she's really chill. She don't be doing too
Jada
much.
makes me mad. Jada makes
She
me
makes you mad.
Yes, because I'm like, Jada, that man cheats on you openly, right? Which, if you're gonna stay, like, that's you, right? Because relationships, like, it's you, but like, you're putting it out in the open. You're like, this is my man, stuff like that. And every day it's a new allegation. Like, you like to be embarrassed. Like, you like to hear that somebody else has sex with your man. I don't understand. I never got
Yeah, but I understand Jada though because that man is very rich. I
that.
really understand Jada's side. Like I know, and I know Jada was like having before
Mhm.
baby and all that, but like the lifestyle that she has is a lot due to Lil Baby because you know what I'm saying. Like, what does Jada do? Does she have like a
I think it was
clothing?
a hair thing, a hairline.
Oh, she has hair. Like, okay, she has hair. That's nice, but it's not comparing to 200 a occasion.
No, for real.
So
She with a Birkin. Like,
yeah. So like I kind of understand where she's coming from, but I definitely if he's not treating her right, I would like for her to leave him, but I understand. I gotta understand. I can't even fault her for that.
my thing is just be quiet about it. You gonna stay. I would like if I was with him, like I just would not post him. I'd be like, I'm with him in private. That's it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, me
But I
too.
like India. She's my favorite baby mother of all them.
I like India.
I like her. She just be doing her. She be minding her little business, okay? Her and them little lip glosses she be selling. That's
I
it.
know. Yeah, I like India. My least favorite though is Ari. I cannot stand that girl.
She's interesting, but she's on Vogue. She got a Vogue cover, so that was
Bro, no,
interesting.
I heard that it's not a cover. Listen. This is what I seen on the socials. The streets is saying that she had like that some a dress designer from Atlanta paid for an ad in Vogue.
Oh,
And like they have like and they said that Vogue has this like ad page where like they have like a whole bunch of different ads or whatever. So they said that a designer in Atlanta paid for an ad in Vogue and she was the model for that designer.
uh,
So basically,
oh,
I haven't confirmed that or nothing, but basically, if that's the truth, Vogue did not reach out to her.
yeah,
The designer did. She
yeah.
had no contact with Vogue. Her she just did a photo shoot for somebody else
Right.
that happened to be in Vogue. So what I was saying about that whole thing, I feel like that is so corny because first of all, that's an accomplishment either way. Like you got to be in a photo shoot for a designer that's in Vogue. Like that's
Right.
big. Why is that? Why do you have to come and fake for the internet and say, oh, I was on the cover of Vogue and edit it like and put Vogue behind you like, girl,
Mhm. That is corny. See, like now that I heard that, I'm like, that's pathetic.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't confirmed it, but I seen it multiple times. Like I
Yeah.
seen multiple people say that on the internet. So
No, I don't like that either. Cause now it's kind of like
cause you was happy for her.
I was. No, I really was like, oh, like go you. I'm like, cause the thing is like, I'm like, she doesn't do anything, but I'm like, damn, you getting a Vogue cover out of that? Like, what do I gotta do to do that? But
Right,
that's not.
right. And it's like if she would have got a Vogue cover, it's like, and I think that people are kind of like, oh well, why are y'all trying to like humble black women and try to say stuff about black women, da da da. And I feel like no, this time is actually valid.
Yeah.
This time is valid.
Yeah, like I'm like the way like she conducts herself and stuff like that, and once again, she literally does nothing else but be a baby mother. It's like, is that really the example that we want to be putting out of black women? Like that's not that's how we want to portray. That's not something that's positive. And she's always like, and like I'm not slut shaming no woman because I'm like, girl, do you like that's your coochie? But your son got a new father every couple months, so I'm like. all right, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah. And I'm not, and I don't even think that it's about that. That honestly wouldn't even be a problem. But
Mm,
it's the fact that the way that you act, like you just are. I've heard like multiple stories about like, oh, she was supposed to be at an event and we was waiting outside in the cold, da 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 da. And
which is
just
why
the
you
way.
came to see Ari in the first place.
Yeah,
What did you
that's
do?
another question. That's a good question right there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just like
Like,
what's
what did
wrong
she
with
do
you?
again? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But at the
You
same time, it's like
then too.
okay, yeah. But at the same time, it's like people are paying their hard earned money for you,
Yeah.
and Ari. I don't know why you think that you're some. Not even to sound like a hater, but you think that you have the type of influence that can keep people outside waiting. No,
No, right? Right?
like chill, cool out.
I don't know. I just feel like social media's just gotten to a lot of people's heads, and it's just really made them think, that they have much more influence than they actually do. But it's like, go outside and go touch some grass. Because outside of Twitter, Instagram, you do nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like people have just made like whole careers out of social media, and it's like, if somebody literally turned off power right now, like that would be the end of that. You know what I mean? Like, go do something outside that's actually, bettering you.
And positive. Yeah. And it's like, you know, you have all this money. You've built this career off of social media, but you don't do anything to help people. And then when during Black Lives Matter, you telling us that we need to be donating our $1,200 checks.
Yes.
Ari, stop it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like at
Love
least
that
G Herbo,
someone
like
sensitive.
yeah, like at least G Herbo, he did the little, therapy, mental health thing in Chicago.
Mhm.
Like, he got like you have to have initiatives of giving back to people. Like,
Right.
don't be one of those rich people that's just rich and sit in their corner because at the end of the day, first of all, humble yourself. God can
Mhm.
take it away in any second. But it's just, it's sad to look at. You show off this ignorant arrogant persona to the world. It's like I just don't understand why people still like you.
Yeah, not definitely feel that. But if anything, I feel like celebrities are just insensitive in general when it comes to that. Because I feel like I said, they're so disconnected from us. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, why don't you guys donate? Why don't you guys protest? And it's like, what are you doing in your mansion right now?
Mhm.
I'm not understanding it. But yeah, that was just one of the things I feel like really upset me over quarantine was just seeing how celebrities were trying to like reach out to us, or like how I saw like celebrities were very like they were still very focused on like making money. You know what I mean? Like still the Instagram live, so stuff like that. And it's like we are in a panoramic right now. Like I don't care to see you perform on Instagram live. Like that's not
Yeah,
my
and that's why like when Mulatto was beefing with that girl on Twitter. Do
problem.
you remember that?
Who are we talking about? Enchanted?
The one girl that's like famous on Twitter, she always be going viral, and she said that they were talking about why are celebrities doing all these club hostings and stuff still during the pandemic, and she was like, that's because D-list celebrities like Mulatto and Moneybag, they need that club show money
Yeah.
because they don't got nothing else to do. They need that club show money because it was like look at Meg Thee Stallion, look at who else, Beyonce or
Right.
someone, or even who else, Roddy Rich. I feel like I haven't seen him doing no club hosting
I wish
lately.
don't do nothing. Okay, he make his money and he go.
Exactly. So it's like, and they were like, yeah, so like those D-list celebrities like that, they need that
I
club
mean,
show.
Asian Doll starting a tour now, right now.
Yeah,
Right?
that's dumb.
Girl, you got
It's
one good song.
they they need money. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nothing else to do during this pandemic. That's the primary way that they get their money is through club postings and stuff. So it's very selfish, like because for you to be bringing all of your fans out like that. I mean, I guess people just don't really understand like how serious like COVID actually is, but it's selfish for you to be bringing out all your fans together like that
Right.
and take their money to see you perform like
Right?
there's a deadly virus in the air. But hey,
That made me sad with the City Girls. I was like, y'all, come on now. Like over Christmas, I was like, y'all gonna have this big
yeah,
show right now?
yeah. I don't know why I don't expect a lot from them. So
No, that's definitely true. But it's just I don't know, man. I think this pandemic really just showed like people's true colors in a sense. You know what I mean? People, if they're individualistic, or if they really care about the whole population, and I guess our well being. But
at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to.
but
Um,
I'm praying to God we're almost out of it. At this point, I'm like, I see the end of the line. Like I see it. I'm like, I see summer. We need to be outside. So whatever
right,
has to
I see
be,
something.
whatever we have to do to get out of this.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be out of it soon. I feel like once I'm vaccinated, I feel like it's over for me because I've definitely been like very responsible and well behaved during this entire pandemic. Like nobody can say anything about the way that I've been acting during this pandemic. So
Girl, you
I
strong.
feel like I did, huh?
You strong. You are
I
strong.
know, I know. So like, I definitely deserve to have fun, to go out and stuff like that. Even though I am kind of still like scared of catching COVID because they have like the new variants and stuff. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, I don't know. I'm paying attention to my CNN and just see what's happening. I'm still, I want to like. I feel like I'm at least gonna like let loose a little bit now that I have the vaccine. So.
Right. But I love this. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for doing this crossover episode.
Yes, thank you for joining me,
We should
girl.
definitely do this more often. I love
Yes, we
this.
should, and we will.
Alrighty, but thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. And yeah, listen to both of our podcasts too.
Yes, on all platforms. Listen, go
Yes,
listen right now.
yes.